All right. So moving on from discussing Harry Potter, we're going to be discussing Book of Boba Fett, episode 2. So here, in this episode 2 of Book of Boba Fett, we have a little bit more of crime lord stuff, a little bit more backstory stuff, get into a little bit more him learning to be more of a Tusken Raider. So we get a little bit more of the kind of rituals and the ideology behind the Tusken Raiders, their whole kind of process, which I like. I like seeing a lot of the Tusken Raider stuff, expanding upon
Yeah,
them
instead
more.
of, them just being an allegory for Native Americans.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I thought that was a lot of good stuff there. And I thought the train sequence in this episode was a very strong action sequence as
Yeah.
well. And I think one of my big criticisms, though, Ming-Na Wing, not enough of her. Love me some Ming-Na Wing. Always love to see her.
Yeah, she's not in this she's barely in the episode.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, because I think a lot of the episode. I mean, do you guys like the mix of them doing half backstory, kind of half present day stuff, or?
I think it's a bit of an issue because just by the nature of that, one of those are going to be more interesting than the other. And so far in this show, the flashback story, it's much more interesting than the crime lord stuff.
I think so.
At least I'm thinking that.
Dusk, what do you think?
It's odd seeing this both prequel slash after in his life because, well, if you've seen The Mandalorian, you kind of see where this is kind of going, and also it also flirts with canon a lot. Jon Favreau has been very good at kind of reintroducing extended canon into it, and from episode 1 down, it's like, oh yeah, he did escape the Sarlacc pit. Yeah, that definitely happens. They kept that. Oh, where's Dengar? Where's the guy? He helped him out and showed him. Oh, he's still the tribe. He's still doing this nonsense. Oh, I mean, this is kind of cool, but all right, I guess this is where you're going with this. It's so on one hand, it's kind of interesting seeing where they're kind of going with it, and it's kind of neat. They have some good set pieces, but I'm kind of curious where they're going really with this.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I say with the crime lord stuff. I feel like maybe if you were really gonna do that stuff, maybe you should have just maybe done some episodes. Say it was kind of a little bit of a prequel series, and maybe focus on building that stuff up more. And then move on to what I mean. Then the present day stuff.
It's like they wanted to do 2 series about Boba Fett, and they couldn't decide which one was better. So they said, "Screw it! Why not Zoidberg? Let's do it both."
No, possibly. Yeah, because I think with the backstory stuff, it's interesting to learn these different ways of the Tusken Raiders, and how that's. I think it's important to see, to have that backstory because it leads into why he is the way he is now, and trying to be the leader he is now, and be this boss. But him as this boss, as this crime lord, I don't think he's really that. Maybe it's because it's only 2 episodes, but it's like it's not that imposing yet because it's like, okay, yeah, you did kill this dude, you took this title, but it's really kind of like it's you, and then it's these 2 other guys, and then it's your right hand woman, Ming-Na Wing. It's kind of like you 4, and it's like this doesn't really seem like that, dangerous of a crew here. You know what I mean? Going around doing something. It's like feels like you guys could be taken out at any moment. It kind of feels.
Yeah,
like.
you almost were.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's kind of like, and then you're walking around. Just I get you trying to make your presence known, but it's like. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't really feel like that much of a big presence. Maybe maybe that's too big of a criticism at this moment. It only being episode 2. I don't know.
He doesn't yet have the backing of the Mandalorian tribe, his clan.
Yeah.
There's a whole civil war that goes with that stuff. So we'll see if they introduce that too.
How much do you know about Boba Fett from the EU? There it does.
I know some aspects of Boba Fett just because he's semi-interesting. I know he attended his Dengar, who is another bounty hunter, if I recall correctly, in Empire Strikes Back. He's one of the bounty hunters there. He's wearing like the white kind of wrap on his head, along with the gun. That's Dengar. He flies a Corellian-style ship as well. And I only remember any of this because I had someone I knew who was really into it, and they said, "Did you know at one point Dengar gets married, and Boba Fett's his best man. And I'm like, are you joking with me? He's like, nope. And he just like showed me like where it is. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. He attends the wedding. Good for him. And when he retires from being a bounty hunter. And then Boba Fett also killed a guy who was pretending to be Boba Fett and wearing Mandalorian like armor. And he leaves that guy to die. And that's a whole other thing.
Mm.
So I also know that there's a Mandalorian civil war that kind of happens, not the specifics. So I know some things about him. I know he has bounty hunter friends somewhat, but he's always been kind of a loner. I think he also has a daughter somewhere, but he's not very fatherly. He doesn't know how to be. There aren't that many Mandalorians left.
All right.
So
Yeah.
I know that's the maximum I know.
Okay.
And he has a grudge against Solo even before any of the movies, but that's why he chased him, and more so because he gets fed into a Sarlacc pit for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of criticism with the show, kind of right now, and I don't know if it's because mainly because it's like with the Mandalorian, it's a blank slate, right? You don't attribute anything to the character because it's a brand new character. So
Absolutely.
You don't have any personal head canon already associated with the character. And then
Right.
so maybe with Boba Fett, people already wanted Boba Fett to be this one thing already, off bat, and
Right.
he's not that. And maybe people are upset he's not that. So I'm trying to kind of give a general sense of the criticism of the show. I would say this episode, I think I do like it better than the first one, so I do like it better there. And then bringing in the Hutt cousins, I thought was really good. You know what I mean? And them bringing in kind of this threat and setting kind of the elements of things and being threatening without being straightforward threatening. You know what I mean? Little veiled threats I thought was nice. I liked basically Bear Chewbacca coming out. You know what I mean, with the big gun. I thought, okay, we're gonna probably get a good face off between the two of them. Maybe some point in the season, season finale, some point, maybe like a Oberyn Martell versus the Mountain situation kind of going on here between them. And I think that would be pretty dope. What'd you kind of guys think about that character there coming in? Because I know that's a big character from the EU stuff too.
I didn't know shit about the EU, but it was a cool design.
Dusk?
I didn't even know he was an EU character.
Oh yeah. Apparently, I think he's like one of the bodyguards of Darth Vader or assassin Darth Vader. If I'm not
Sure, why not?
Yeah. There's lots of stuff
Sure.
they do with the kind of the EU stuff. Even though the EU they say is not canon, they still draw stuff from the EU characters and stuff like that. Like one big character that a lot of people want to see that I think is coming in one of the shows is
in the Ahsoka show is Admiral Thrawn.
Admiral Thrawn. Yeah, that's a big character from the EU stuff. That
Admiral Thrawn was not only just in the EU, he also had his own book series, trilogy book series. He was also in...
He was also in Rebels.
He was in Rebels. He's very old. He's one of the oldest expanded universe and also one of the most popular expanded universe characters. So that I understand.
Yeah.
He's very recognizable, even in Star Wars fandom.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, thought that was a cool design. So it's setting the table for a lot of threats to come his way, and how is he going to fight all these from taking the throne. But it's just that like a lot of these other people have so much power than him at this point, and it just feels like, okay, what's stopping them from just taking it now? I mean, like I said, it's just kind of just these four people right now. You know what I mean? Why not just stop him right now? You know what I mean? He's kind of base level. And it just feels like writing wise, it's just like, well, we don't want them to do that because, well, we don't want them to do that right now because he's Boba Fett. So, that I think that's a little lazy for me. What did you kind of think about this episode 2 there, Dusk?
I thought the effects and everything is Disney. What I expect from Disney Plus. It's fine, pretty good. They're treating their Star Wars by giving it an effect, but I think it's with I think I fall more in line with you, where it's this with the writing and the story and why is this happening like this. I don't know a lot about the EU. I don't know a lot about Boba Fett, but I do know Why is Boba Fett bothering with this? Why is he doing this? Why is the character doing this? I'm asking that a lot when I'm watching a show, and I think with a blank slate, you can develop a character. You can develop why are they doing this, and you're kind of for the Mandalorian. I know people enjoyed the show, but they sold it mostly as a gunslinging mercenary bound person, and it's really 85% of the time guarding Baby Yoda, babysitting Baby Yoda. It's really not any of that, and it just happens to have sparse little moments of that. And so I can understand why some people weren't really happy with the Mandalorian either. But at least it was with a new character. Boba Fett, there's a certain expectation. There are fans that are 30 plus years that know this goddamn character, and they've been waiting for him to make a genuine appearance. And this is like he's fighting over the Hutts, and they're like, "What? Why does he care?" And so, but let that be said. I think that for the show it is right now, I'm curious to see where this is kind of going because I really don't know where this is kind of go.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I wonder if this was a to be binge watched, because I think this kind of slow burn, it works more for a show that's bingeable than it does releasing week to week, because you're 2 episodes in, you're a little more than that, almost halfway through the series, and I don't know what the fuck it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many episodes of this series is supposed to be?
6.
6? Okay.
Is it 6,
like,
or are they doing 8 like they did with Mando?
I thought they were doing 6.
Somebody look it up real quick if you can. Yeah.
7 episodes.
7 episodes.
7.
Okay. 7 episodes. You don't really have a lot of time to mess around here. 7 episodes.
No, you like so slow. Honestly, that even makes
7
slow burn
episodes
even worse.
Get to the fucking point.
Yeah, with 7 episodes, you need to even be more quick when talking about anything. You're like, all right, what should have happened in these 2 episodes should have been down in 1.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really mess around. Like, you bring up the bingeable point. Yeah, maybe if you did have all these episodes.
You could pull this off with 10.
10?
Yeah, 10 episodes. You could take your time a little bit.
Yeah, and given that these episodes, given degree of time, they don't adhere to any specific time length. Like, some could be 35. This was pretty much an hour long.
The first episode was 38. This was an hour.
Yeah, so, you got free range to kind of do however many hours of storytelling you want within each episode. You're not constrained to just doing an hour or 40 minutes or whatever. So given those constraints, given this kind of, it seems like you got free range to do kind of any time. You could be more, do a lot more stuff with the story, develop a lot more stuff there. And like you said, why does he really care about being this crime lord too much? Like, what's really there for him? Other than like the power, what does he gain from being this kind of crime lord there? But the Tusken Raider stuff I still think is really good to see, kind of his stuff with there, learning the ways. We've seen this a lot of stuff before. Avatar, Dancing with Wolves, what I mean, a lot of other examples of them doing this stuff before in media. But to see kind of how he's learning all these different skills and how this applies to the present day, I think is.
I mean, again, if I remember my canon, and I don't know if I do, I'm just barely remembering any of it. But again, him being rescued by a bounty hunter, he pulls himself out of the Sarlacc, does the best he can, and he's helped by his friend, in quotes, comrade in arms, and then him resting up his tank, and he decides, all right, I need to get revenge, but I'm gonna go head home, and him just discovering Mandalore and dealing with that stuff, that would have been much more interesting to me than just a crime story, and him trying to find the king or queen of Mandalore, or doing something, or even just I need to stock up on this and I need to get better because I had a near-death experience or something, anything. But this, it's like, all right, Tusken Raiders, that's cool, but this doesn't feel like something that would have happened for Boba Fett. It should have been like a completely new character that they were saved by Tusken Raiders, and then that affected him in that way. I mean, he's already an experienced bounty hunter. He would have already known some of these techniques, or he would already have survival techniques. He's hunted people worse, assumably, than Han.
Yeah. I see your point there.
He's not a
And
spring chicken.
yeah, that's for sure. I mean, but he still looks good. Tamir Morrison, 61 years old, still looks good. I mean, he does have those, those chiclets in his mouth, but he still, teeth are pearly white, for sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, I still think he still, looks really good. Um, and I do kind of I like kind of when he's going to speak to these people, like when he goes to speak with the mayor, who was voiced by Robert Rodriguez, and I do like that kind of that back and forth, verbal sparring there. That happens, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, are you threatening me? Am I gonna threaten you? Like, do I have to really, show what I'm gonna do here? Like, you know what I mean? I do kind of like that stuff, and stuff was also with the Huts as well when they came in. I did kind of love that stuff as well. It's like, yeah, don't worry, you know what I mean? We'll be back. Yeah, don't worry. You just sit right there. You know what I mean? I did kind of like that stuff. It's just overall, it's just like, where are we going with this? You know what I mean? What's kind of gonna be, his drive and his motivation here, in the series to be this crime lord. Yeah. I thought this episode was better than the first one. And I did like, a lot of good elements here, and I think that a lot of the good elements here, and I think they outweighed the bad for me. So I'd give it a stream it. Not like kind of not like a tune in, but I still give it like a stream it for right now, because I do want to see where these kind of things develop. It's only 2 episodes, and yeah, I want to see where this kind of ends to see where I can judge all the series collectively, having seen all these episodes. What about you guys with this episode too?
Honestly, with this, I'm bordering on a skip it. It's like you're almost halfway through the season. I have no idea what the point of this show is. I don't really give a shit about this interpretation of Boba Fett. You got one more episode before I'm checking out entirely, honestly.
Damn. All right. Dusk.
It's almost serviceable, but I'm really on Nick with this. I'm really just gonna wait. I kind of want to see what the full context of what you're trying to sell me before I. You haven't really pulled me in. You had 38 minutes initially. This is your pilot. This is the beginning of it, and this is about Boba Fett. Again, he showed up. He's a fan favorite. He didn't say much. He didn't do much. This is your opportunity to really kind of live up to what the EU later did to his character and improved him over time and made him more interesting. This is time to hit the ground running. Really make this kind of interesting. And it's like they're taking their time with a show that's like, yeah. No, we'll get to that. Just wait. Just you wait, guys. Cool things are going to happen. Just you wait. And I'm like, no, you have 7 episodes. This needs to happen now. You don't have time. We don't have 24 episodes where we're just going to let this thing go out and it's 22 minutes. All right, like something will happen maybe by the end of episode 2 or 3, and I'll be like, okay, I guess I'll stick around a little while longer. That's why I left Shield. I stopped watching. I didn't even finish season 1 because I got bored. I got bored. 24 episodes, and then finally when it started getting good, it had burned me out. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. This has done it in like 2, where I'm like, you know what? I'll come back to it when it's done, and I'll just binge it.
Yeah, that's initially what happened to me with. By like 3 episodes, I was just kind of bored, and I didn't pick it up again until I heard all the positive word of mouth of season 2 of that show.
Yeah, I see you guys' point. With the series, like it's not like other Disney Plus series, like each day, like each week. I gotta check out the new episode, right? When it was WandaVision, it was like, I really want to check out to see what they do on this episode of WandaVision. Really intrigued to see what they do. And I think, it's like, it's okay. I mean, all right. Wednesday, see what they do, Boba Fett. Not really I don't think a must-see every Wednesday for me to really kind of go check it out immediately or, get home and watch it. And, yeah, so I see what you guys are saying there on that front. I think it still has a chance to really turn around, be something really great. But it's just, maybe it seems like kind of where things going to go here and where things going to develop into.